Thanks for clicking on State of the City. My name's Todd Prafkin. I'm the City Administrator here in St. Peter. As you can see, we're in our fantastic studios here, which is, well, they're okay. They're my office, but this works pretty slick. You know, I've had a number of people ask me, how do I do this? It's not that tricky. I mean, I just have a camera on a laptop computer, and we kind of do State of the City. And so hopefully it's useful information to you, and that's why you clicked it, or you have interest in, whether you're on Facebook or whether you're looking at this on YouTube or whether you're checking it out on our website. Thank you very much for clicking on State of the City. You know, normally I have two missions, one of which is to cover the workshop from just the other night. Well, it's a couple other nights ago, actually. It was on Tuesday the 21st, and today's Friday the 24th at about 2 o'clock, so I'm a day or two behind, but we're still going to try and cover some of the things that were on the workshop agenda, so I want to get this in here. I know I have a number of people say it's hard to see, so I want to make it as big as possible and for you to get information. You can see a couple of my notes on there, a couple other things that we talked about, but I am going to hit up a few of the bigger items, or I think the items that might be of most interest to you, and that's that first one with the DOT, and then the second one related to the fire hall and what's going on with the fire hall. So DOT, that's the first one. The council participated in a discussion with DOT staff, with Forrest and Ann from the DOT, and they're talking about a project that is likely to occur in 2023 or 2024, and that's at the south end of town, kind of in that area by Quick Trip and Subway, and so that's the area, again, from really Jefferson south to the intersection with Highway 99 as 99 comes down the hill. Some of you know that's a really tough intersection. People are going south on 169 and turning left to go on 22 towards Mankato. Traffic continues to pass by and go through south on town. Traffic is coming north on Highway 169. People are trying to turn to get up the hill or come down the hill. And I know you see backups there, and you've seen a lot of accidents that have occurred there. So DOT and the city are working in partnership to try and figure out ways to make that intersection better. And so this was one of the first steps kind of in that process, which is Forrest comes and he talks with the council, and they talk about some of the things that they see, some of what are their priorities. Is safety the only priority, or is it access part of a priority too, and how do you weigh those out? And so they had a really great discussion at that presentation. And so well, next time we're together, I'm going to have some additional graphics that they put together that I think are super slick, that show traffic patterns there. So this is kind of a teaser. Watch for next time we're together. I'm going to try and make sure to cover that. But those were fantastic graphics and show how many cars turn. Oh, by the way, if you're going south on 169 and you turn left to go on 22 towards Mankato, you are one on about, on average, 11,000 cars a day that make that turn, that make that movement. And so a lot of traffic. It's a complicated intersection, so there's going to be some more work. So I want you to know that that's going on, and there certainly will be public opportunities to provide input. But kind of what we do is we talk about kind of some of the priorities, some of the things that we see, define problems, throw out some ideas about possible solutions, and then narrow that scope a little bit to limit it down to 2 or 3 or 4 options for the public to really comment and talk about. And there'll be likely a couple of open houses in St. Peter over the next year or two as this project continues to move forward. So watch for that. It's very interesting and certainly an important intersection for us, and a challenging intersection for you and I as the traveling public. One of the other ones I want to talk about is the fire hall project. And as some of you may know and have read in the newspaper, other places, the city has been working for now more than a couple of years on a new fire hall. And one of the things that accompanies that work isn't just how big is the fire hall, or is it red or blue, or what color it is, but how do you finance this stuff? How do you put money together to make this go? And so one of the discussions that's been held now for over a year has been the opportunity to potentially use sales tax for that. And that was one of the discussions here at the goal setting session. By the way, at the workshop. So that workshop was on Tuesday night. By the way, the council's taking action on Monday night, theoretically, to move forward with some level of sales tax. Generally, here's how it works. Under the rules today, the state legislature has to say, okay, St. Peter, you can take a local option sales tax to your voters. And then if they say that, then the city council can put it on the ballot in November, so November of 2020. If the community approves it, then there can be a sales tax put in place, and the revenue that's generated will go towards paying debt service on a new fire hall that will be built at the corner of Broadway and Sunrise. Notice how I said that. There's going to be a new fire hall. And I've said this really bluntly before. There will be a new fire hall. There's a clear, definite, demonstrable, articulable, data-driven need for a new fire hall. And so it's going to go at the corner of Broadway and Sunrise. It really is a question that the voters may be looking at in November is who's paying for it? Is it just property taxes or is sales tax being used? And I know property tax payers pay sales tax too, but the opportunity here is that we have lots of people that come through our community that pay sales tax that could certainly help pay towards paying the debt service on that fire hall. So if the council approves on Monday night and it goes to the state legislature and they approve, then it will be up to you as voters to approve or not approve. Now the council's been talking about a half-cent sales tax, which would put us on par with kind of Mankato, North Mankato, or a 3/4 cent sales tax, which would be just 1/4% above what you see in Mankato, North Mankato. So that's one of the things that they're going to be discussing. And I got to tell you, I've done a lot of research on this for them. I've written a lot about it, thought even more about it. And I don't know that there's a right answer to this. It really is about what you think the appropriate balance is of local property taxpayers and sales taxpayers paying for this core service facility, a fire hall. There's great stuff in the council packet. I'll put a link on it that you can read. And well, anyway, that might articulate a little bit better what we're thinking, and we want you to know. We want you to know. A couple other tidbits of information that I want to get to very quickly is we have a new website, a newly designed website. So it's not 100% fully functional yet. There's still a work in progress, but I think if you check it out, you will like it. It won't be the same if you're a frequent user. It will be different, so that might take you a little bit of getting used to and click certain places, but I think overall it will be much more user-friendly. It now is mobile-friendly. It now meets ADA requirements and a number of those other things that we want to meet so that everybody can see it. That mobility, working well on a mobile phone, is significant, where our old site it didn't work so well with that, and as more of us use our cell phones, our smartphones for that, that's an important thing. And so check that out. Let us know what you think. Again, there'll be more population and more things changing, so it's not its final version, but it looks really nice, and I think in the long run it'll be very slick and be a great benefit to the folks like you that might be using it. I also have been doing recycling tips every state of the city, so you've seen this before. So here's one of the tips, and this was actually in the St. Peter Herald this last week. You know, we have a couple of locations where you can take your overflow for recycling. This works really great for boxes, by the way. At the Prafke House, we kind of take boxes down there. You got to break those boxes down, and so there's a couple locations where those are located. So one is at the site at St. Julian. So here's a map. I want to get the map and the site right down here, right across the street from Public Works Building, right next door to, just north of, the Armory. So that's one location. And then up on Sunrise Drive, where the county shop is another location right up in this area. You can see there are locations that the county's been nice enough to put dumpsters out. There, we together are going to do video surveillance in the future because we have people that are dumping stuff there that shouldn't be there. It's not the place for old mattresses or old chairs or an old washing machine or anything like that. This is for the stuff that's able to be recycled, following the rules of recycling. And so watch for that, because our goal, frankly, is that we have a lot of people that are dumping, and we want to catch them because they shouldn't be doing it, and it's costing you and I money, and we don't want that to happen. So we're going to step that up here over the next couple of weeks or months or so. So please watch for that. Use them for the appropriate use. They're great to be there. Like I said, you can use them for all kinds of the recyclables, the things that are recyclable, but they're really fantastic for boxes. Break down your boxes, and they get picked up twice a week. So if it's full one day when you get there, within a day or so, they'll have dumped it and a new one will be there and you'll be able to use it. So take your materials home if it's full and then bring them back, and that dumpster's there for your use, for the appropriate use for recycling. So take care of our planet, take care of yourself, watch out for others, be good to one another, and use it in the way that it's intended. Thanks for that. Oh, accessibility grants. I'm going to have a link for accessibility grants. So whether you knew it or not, we have a new program in the city of St. Peter that's grants for some of downtown businesses so that building owners and business owners can improve accessibility at their buildings. So this is a grant program. There's an application process, and I'm going to put a link on this so that If you're interested in the program, you'll get to be able to email the right person. So it's Russ is in charge of that program. So we're really excited about that. We've got about $30,000, a little bit more than $30,000 this year that we can use to improve accessibility in downtown buildings. And 10% or so of our population at any time has a physical disability where they might not be able to get up a step or through a threshold or pull open a door. And so that affects customers, right? It affects customers. And we want to have a friendly downtown and make it accessible to everyone. We also know that having historic buildings creates additional challenges. So this is a commitment on the part of the City Council and certainly the Economic Development Authority to make improvements in the downtown and help business owners and businesses serve those customers as well. St. Peter's a great place. We're making it greater through doing one of these things. I also want to mention that we have openings. I got to find my right card. We have openings on 2 boards and commissions. And so here's a copy, an image of the card that you can get. So I'll put another link on this where you can email Barbara in my office, and she'll send you one of these, and you can sign up. The openings that we have one on the EDA, the Economic Development Authority, and then we have one on planning and zoning. And so if you want to know more about that, let me know because I'm running out of time. And then I got to do one last plug for Census. Census is coming out. We have a complete count committee. Make sure when you are asked to fill out the documentation that you do it. We want you to be counted. And by the way, there's scams going on now with this. Census is not going to call you on the phone and ask for any data from you. Census does not make phone calls. So if you get a call and they say, well, we want to know where you live, we want your social security number, that is not a real thing. That's a scam. So anyway, watch for the official stuff and let us know if you have any questions. I got to get out of the way. Thanks for tuning in to State of the City. Here's where you can reach us, all the great spots, email, website. We'd love it if you like us on Facebook. Give us a call. We're tweeting. By the way, we're tweeting today about the handicap accessibility thing downtown. That's important stuff. Or check us out on YouTube. Council meetings, video blogs, county commissioner meetings, school board meetings are all on that place. Kyle, thanks for checking us out in State of the City. Hope you have a great weekend.